Mike's Daily Podcast.
Episode 2349,
Mike's Daily Podcast.
The rain is coming, here comes the rain again. And it's not the Eurythmics, it's going to be something like a double helix. It's a thing where DNA wraps us all up, and we have to say Suzanne Vega sings that song. Tom's Cafe, Tom's Diner.
Mike's Daily Podcast.
It's Mike Matthews. This is my show. It's called
Mike's Daily
Podcast. Sing it.
Yeah!
Yeah! I think what I was trying to say was we've got some crazy weather around the country these days. Kentucky got hit by those horrible tornadoes. And I don't know if that's a normal thing, because I know Alabama, where I used to live in Nobam, North Alabama, we used to get quite a few storms and tornadoes up in there. In fact, 2010, I think, was a pretty bad year, and 2009. So, my point is, it's raining here in Podcastro Valleyton, the last place on Earth Cafe anyway. It's raining outside. It's supposed to be a very strong rain this evening. So it's called winter, and I'm not going to yell and scream and freak out and go all climate change. The climate is constantly changing. Could we pollute less? Sure. Should we lay all of you off because the pollution, we don't want to pollute the environment? Well, I wouldn't go that far, but I would try to make the environment better. What's the big deal? Why do you have to be one or the other? It's crazy in this world, so polarizing. So, here's the podcast picture.
And here's today's podcast picture.
A Christmas train in the Christmas rain from Niles, California. Check it out at MikesDailyPodcast.com. Maybe it's because unless you're polarizing, unless you're extreme, unless you have extremist views, you don't get the views. You don't get the people talking about you in the news unless you are extremist. Oh, did you hear what Mike said? Oh my gosh. Talk about it on Seth Meyers. Talk about it on the late night shows. Talk about it on the conservative radio. That seems to be what's happening. Basil, my good friend, my good dearest dog. Best dog I ever had. Basil the Boxer. The late great Basil the Boxer there. Now I am in the cat world. It's interesting. I'll tell you, if you had told me when I had Basil I'd be a cat person eventually, I'd be, Basil didn't particularly like cats. Cats didn't really like him, so I kept the two apart. But Basil was a very, very dear and very extreme experience, because Basil got sick with a disease that I couldn't in any way prevent, a nervous degenerative disease in the nervous system. And so there was no way to stop that from happening, and it required a lot of work in the last 2 years of his life. And after that, and after all the work I'd put into Basil all of his life, I said, you know what? I love dogs, but I can't do this anymore. I need time off. And it was interesting because not even a year, not just a couple of months later, somebody asked me if I wanted to adopt a French bulldog, which I found out about a month later that French bulldogs were all the rage and catching crazy prices, people buying French bulldogs for amazing price tags. In fact, the person that was offering me a free French bulldog, because they could not take care of this French bulldog anymore, they had paid for this French bulldog some crazy amount, thousands and thousands of dollars for this one dog. And I said, no, I can't. Emotionally, I could not. Then several months later, my lovely lady friend we were noticing a couple cats coming around the house. And we fed them because we felt bad for them. And then two of them just disappeared. And one of them kept coming by. We saw on a post a telephone pole, whatever you call them, wooden pole. And there was a sign stapled to it that said, "Have you seen this cat? Do you know who this cat is? Does this cat belong to you?" And it was a cat that looked like one of the cats that had gone missing. So my lovely lady friend called the number, and we found out that this cat was actually in the possession of the people that had made this flyer. And the person said, "I'm taking this cat to the SPCA, and we're going to we're going to see what we can do for this cat, but it doesn't look good right now." And I've told this story before. I'll just get to the point. Now we have this cat. So we have this cat, and this cat, let me tell you, his name is Rodler. I've posted pictures of Rodler, is the kindest cat. And he actually, on a cold Saturday night last night, he slept on the bed and kept me warm in a way that he was saying to me, thank you for taking me in. Would the French Bulldog done the same? Yes, but here's the difference, my friends. Here's the difference. Is cats that are outdoor cats, oh my gosh, a lot less work. They go and do their thing outside in the backyard. You don't have to pick it up because they bury it. It's amazing. They clean themselves. They bathe themselves. Just all this work that I'd put in with Basil, it's now like, nope, don't worry about it. Cat's going to take care of it. Wow. Should I be a really good cat owner and keep the cat inside all the time so that, the bad things don't get to the cat, like wolves, coyotes? We don't want any of those attacking Rodler. Sure. But at the same time, if I shut the door and keep the cat inside, oh yeah, I have cat allergies, by the way. Their dander really gets me starting to sneeze. And when we keep the door open for the cat going in and out, and the windows open and fresh air coming in, I don't get that. So that's what I learned about cats. Inside a cafe anyway, somewhere in Podcaster Valley. We have no cats here today. Just some cool cats talking in the background there. But we got to go outside, because we got to be outside in the rain, under an awning. Awnings, keeping us dry here in December. Now, I'm going to tell you a little something about photos, because we take so many pictures today in this world. There's a camera right there on your phone. I was telling you yesterday, the last podcast, about how I've been having all these flashbacks lately and thinking back to big times in my life. One of them was, well, yours truly did get married at one point. And when you get married, there is also what's involved, a wedding. But yes, before that, there is that big moment when you pop the question to the one that you love. And I was thinking about it because a friend of mine popped the question to his wife-to-be up in Bodega Bay on a tree. Yes, on a tree. There was this cute little area in Bodega Bay that's wooded. It's like a little forest. And he took her up on this branch and proposed to her on the branch. And I thought that was awesome. Then I said to myself, because I suddenly became Daffy Duck, that's ridiculous. Oh, wait, no, that's Sylvester. Despicable. Suddenly, I said, wait a minute. I got married too, didn't I? Yeah. How did I propose? And since I've gotten divorced, maybe the whole divorce is blocked out. Everything to do with the whole asking to become married, to get married, the hand in marriage and all that. Maybe I had just forced myself to forget it. But I suddenly remembered, oh yes, it was in an Italian restaurant in downtown Ventura. It no longer exists. But my then the wife to be, and I used to go to this restaurant all the time, and there was this one waiter we really liked. And I found out what day he was going to be working, and I found out I planned a lunch with my wife to be, and I hid the ring in a planter next to the table. There was a table right in it used to be a store, an old-time store, and you know how in stores, old-timey stores, they have the store front, that little area with the windows where you put your little display. Well, where that was, they actually sat a table and chairs that you could sit in there. You were like in a little bubble to the world outside. And I wanted to sit in that seat and have her sit closest to the window. This is all in my, I don't know why I imagined it this way, but this is what I wanted to do. And as I recall, I hid the ring somewhere in a plant. There was a big plant, like a tree, sitting next to that big planter pot. And I stuck the ring in the box and stuck it in the planter. And then I remember going to pick her up. And as I remember as we were driving to the restaurant, because I had set this all up beforehand, as we're driving to the restaurant, a couple of weird things happened before all this took place. And one of them was I drove through a swarm of bees. Now, I don't know if that was telling that was future, the existence of this marriage was going to involve a lot of bees and swarms, and look out, you're going to get stung. I don't know. Cafe anyway. And I also ran into a guy and his wife. He used to run a radio station that I had worked for a long time. I just ran into him randomly just before we walked into the restaurant. So she sits down. I think it was on her birthday. So she knew something was up. And then I got the box out. I did the one knee thing. I proposed to her. There wasn't many people in the restaurant. The waiter that we both liked was there. And I don't think he had a camera. This was all coming back to cameras, by the way. This is where I was going with this. He did not take a picture of this. I don't think I brought a camera along. Of course, this is in the early 2000s, the early O's. And yes, there were cell phones, but not all of them had cameras on them. So yeah, I don't think I brought a camera to this event. There is really no record of this event. It's all in my brain. Possibly my ex-wife remembers some of this too. Possibly the waiter who we lost touch with long, long ago, maybe he remembers this too, but yeah, that was it. So now, fast forward to today, because I take so many pictures now. I have been since I got a smartphone. Actually, before the smartphone, whatever, those flip phones were able to take pictures, sure, but now the quality is just amazing. So you probably want to store these pictures in a safe place. You're probably just taking pictures and filling them all up in your phone. Where are you going to put them? What if that phone dies? What's going to happen to all those pictures? Have you uploaded them to a cloud? Well, there is the couple of suggestions, and I went to tomsguide.com for them. The 3 best cloud storage services for photos right now include iDrive, Dropbox. Now, I use Dropbox for some of my podcasts. You can go back and listen to some of my podcasts at the website MikesDailyPodcast.com, where you can see the past podcast pictures. Because every podcast that I do has a podcast picture, is what I meant to say. So there are some Dropbox links where you can listen to this podcast. If you go back a couple of years, you'll see that at MikesDailyPodcast.com. And Google Photos. Google Photos is the top free service and top paid features. An easy-to-use, beginner-friendly service with an excellent 15G of free storage. Paying for a Google One membership expands storage and removes file size limits, while photo-oriented features include date and time categorization and facial recognition. They also used to do, so it used to be free, and I uploaded a bunch of pictures to that, and they used to do this thing where they would tell you, make all these suggestions and enhancements to past pictures you had taken. And I think they still do that if you pay for it now. What are the best photo storage and sharing sites? According to Tom's Guide, after testing all the major services, we think the best photo storage and sharing site is Flickr. And there is I have a Flickr account. I haven't used it lately because it's hard to use to upload the pictures to it. Maybe I should use it at some point. But here, the free version of Flickr has a cap of 1,000 photos. A pro account costs $60 per year, which gets you an unlimited number of uploads, as well as the ability to store videos up to 10 minutes in length. Flickr has excellent tools for touching up photos and lots of tagging features, so it's easy to find your images. And Flickr, and that's F-L-I-C-K, no vowel, and then an R. It's like Tumblr, where they kill the last vowel. That vowel got killed. That's terrible. And Flickr excels at letting you share your photos with others. Android and iPhone owners who simply want an easy way to back up their photos and videos should check out Google Photos and iCloud, respectively. These two photo storage services are less expensive and can store all your images in the cloud automatically. Plus, if you have a Google Nest Hub Max or some other smart display, you can sync it with your Google Photos account. I have no idea what a Google Nest Hub Max is, but wow, that's where you probably got to pay a lot for that. However, Google Photos is no longer quite the deal it was. Earlier this year, June 1st, you were no longer able to get free unlimited storage. Instead, any photo you upload is counted against your 15 gigabytes of Google Drive storage limit, which includes not just Google Photos, but Gmail and any other document you may have saved in the Google's cloud service. If your combined files exceed 15 GB, Google may delete those that go over the limit, though the company says it will provide multiple warnings before doing so. Everything you had saved in high or express quality before June 1st is safe, however, but anything that's been uploaded after that date from a non-Pixel phone starts taking up space. That's interesting, a non-Pixel phone. So perhaps if you have the Pixel phone, which is created by Google, they allow you to have it for free still. Amazon Prime members might want to check out Amazon Photos, which offers unlimited storage with your Prime membership. I did not know that. It has good tagging and some sharing features, and you can also display your photos on an Amazon Echo Show. I don't think I've ever seen an Amazon Echo Show. Is that some kind of visual Amazon Echo? Interesting. If you plan to print anything out, though, we recommend using something other than Amazon Prints. And if you're choosing between two services, you should find the Amazon Photos Storage versus Google Photos articles and read those. So Flickr apparently is the best photo storage service overall, according to Tom's Guide, because they got a free subscription for up to 1,000 photos. Starting subscription price at $60 per year. They have a great selection of tools, extensive tagging features, clean interface. I love the clean interfaces. Keep your faces clean, your interfaces, as much as you can, so you don't get the acne. You free accounts limited to 1,000 photos. Then there is the service called 500px. It's for pro photographers. It's a little less than $60 a year, the subscription price, and it allows up to 2,000 photos. You can actually sell your photos as royalty-free artwork through the site. So it allows you to monetize. It does not offer photo printing services, however, but it is aimed at serious photographers. I might check that out. I mentioned Google Photos, free subscription. until you get to that, what was it? 15 gigabytes. Let's see. Unlimited storage for photos up to 16 megapixels and videos up to 1080p. Starting subscription price was $2 a month for 100 megabits. Unlimited storage for Pixel owners. Oh, there you go. So it's unlimited. If you have a Pixel, unlimited, still upload all those photos on Google Photos like you were able to do until June 1st this year. They have basic editing tools. Photos from non-Pixel devices will count towards your existing cloud storage limit. And that was, remind me again, was it 15? Yes, 15 gigabytes. So there you go. I'm going to try that. Try all of those. Maybe I end up getting, in the Amazon Prime photos, unlimited storage for Amazon Prime members. So that's good. If you already have Amazon Prime and you've maxed out your Google storage, go with the Amazon. Decent sharing options. However, Amazon prints are not very good, they said. Users can invite up to 5 friends or family members to receive unlimited photo storage and collect photos in a family vault. And you can show photos on the Echo Show or Fire TV if you have those. Now, of course, if you have an Apple phone, iPhone, that would be the Apple iCloud. Free subscription up to 5 gigabytes. Then you have to subscribe for $12 a year to get 50 gigabytes. It's easy to add photos for multiple users. It has simple sharing tools. There is no Android version, though. It is all about the iCloud, the iPhone. The Apple iCloud service integrates with its own Apple photo software on Macs and iOS devices, although you can use the basic features on a Windows PC. You can upload photos to the free 5 gigabytes of space and share them in an online photo stream that can be viewed in Apple Photos or as a web page. Interesting. Photos can be tagged with names and locations, and other iCloud users can also add their photos. And that's a neat trick for creating a photo record for multiple photographers. Say you have a party or a concert everyone attended. Apple Photos will also identify and group images with similar faces, which you can tag with a person's name and contact info. There's also a couple other ones. Adobe Portfolio. It's pricey, though, for casual users, something like $120 per year. You get 20 gigabytes. There is no free subscription. There's Image Shack. Unlimited photo storage for a price of about $38 per year. And that's available on all types of phones. There is Photo Bucket. That is about $72 a year. And a free subscription of up to 250 photos, which is nothing. Flickr allows you 1,000 photos. SmugMug. No free subscription. It's $55 a year. And then there's Dropbox, which I mentioned earlier, a free subscription for up to 2 gigabytes, which is nothing because you can get 15 gigabytes with your Google. And then there's Facebook, free photo storage, but the images get compressed. Reasons to avoid, it's Facebook. And let's see, you have facial recognition and auto tags. However, it is easy to share with other people on Facebook, but you're dealing with the whole metaverse and all of that. And who knows what happens. They own it. This is all Mike Prospero wrote this. He's the deputy editor at Tom's Guide, overseeing the smart home drones and fitness wearables categories, as well as all buying guides and other evergreen content. When he's not testing out the latest running watch, skiing, or training for a marathon, he's probably using the latest sous vide machine or some other cooking gadget. Fascinating. Yeah, I have heard. What do you think about the Facebook photos? I've heard that it is bad because One of the problems is it's so difficult to get to the photos. They bury them in all kinds of weird places. And Facebook, when you try and open Facebook, it's telling you all kinds of other stuff. It's telling you, look at this ad. Maybe you want to see this guy's post. Maybe you want to see this person's, stories or whatever they call the little video thing. So I'm not a big fan. If you're a big fan of it, let me know. 336MM Daily, 3 + 3 = 6. MM as in Mike Matthews Daily, as in what this podcast has been now for a couple of days. Now, I think there's a couple people outside of Cafe Anyway here. Let us say hi to them. But first, a little bit of music. Hang on, here we go.
And on Christmas cheer departed. It's sad to say when you're away from love on Christmas Day.
That is Daniel G. Harmon. He has been on the podcast many, many, many times. And he wrote that song with Jason Samford, who has also been on this podcast. He was with a band called Xoxo, both very, very nice gentlemen. And that is a new song they just came out with. They sent that to me the other day. You can find it on Bandcamp. Look up Daniel G. Harmon and Jason Samford. Alone on Christmas is the name of it. They also have a song called Alone on Christmas Eve. It sounds a little like this.
Done. We're done.
Oh, wow. That's a neat little intro.
Sometimes I do too much thinking, waste time, smoking and
Drinking. Thinking and drinking. Those two words rhyme. So, just wanted to share that with you. We're outside a cafe anyway, somewhere in Podcastro Valley. Oh, and you can hear the past interviews I did with Daniel G. Harmon and Xoxo. That's spelled EXOHEXOH. And you can do a search of it. It's also in the interview section at my website, MikesDailyPodcast.com. Outside a cafe anyway, somewhere in Podcastro Valley. 10. As it's raining out here, look who's here. Hi, Mike. It's Benita the Rodeo Queen. How y'all doing? I bought my horse Nelly. Hi, Nelly. Wow. Look who else is here.
Oh, it's a Disgruntled Fiddle Player. Tell you what.
What?
I find it fascinating, all this stuff you're talking about, saving photos and holding on to photos. I just burn all my photographs.
You burn your photographs?
Yeah, Mike Matthews, I don't want any kind of trace of evidence that I have done anything in this world. No evidence, no crime.
Wow. Those are some wonderful words to say this Christmas time. Look who else is here.
Hello, Mac. I make a delicious root beer. Oh, have some right now.
Thank you. Oh, wow. That's got caffeine in it, like Barks. Suddenly, I have a lot of energy and I have to get it out really quick. At the end of the podcast, let's zip through a couple of stories. Here we go. Wow. Whew.
Awesome.
It's like kind of a lot of stuff going on in that root beer.
Drink it right now. I'll cut you.
All right, I'll have one more sip. And then, excellent, here we go. So, Kristen Davis. She is in Sex and the City. I guess they brought back the show. They're doing like a 10-episode arc or something. And she said that after 40, people think you're done. She said, no, that's not true. And people should stop thinking that. It's a very sexist world. They say that especially about female actresses. After 40, they think you're done. No, she says. Everyone in the South, she says, was like, you got to get married. I was like, why? I felt rebellious about it. When I was young, I thought that marriage seemed like the patriarchy. So she did her own thing. Kristen Davis. You can read about it in the Sunday Times. Then Gavin Newsom, he says that Texas abortion law with the Supreme Court upheld. He says that he will use Texas abortion law tactics to go after assault rifle and ghost gun makers. In a new approach to gun control inspired by Texas's controversial approach to banning most abortions, California Governor Gavin Newsom said yesterday that he announced that his administration will work to make it easier for private citizens to sue people who sell assault rifles and parts for untraceable ghost guns. As similar to the way that the abortion law, the Texas abortion law, allows anyone to sue any doctors who perform an abortion. So he's saying, hey, well, this is my cause. I don't think people should have guns. Untraceable ghost guns. I knew somebody who, I probably shouldn't say that I knew somebody. Let's say I knew somebody who knew somebody who knew somebody who was into trying to make his own gun. And yeah, that was his hobby. Not podcasting, not making scrapbooks, but making guns. So there you go. That's what makes the news, the stuff that's extreme. Gavin Newsom saying that, and then Texas saying the other thing. And how about this? Both Donald Trump and Bill O'Reilly touted huge crowds ahead of their history tour, but it kicked off at a Florida live arena in Sunrise, Florida, with many empty seats, according to local media. Was that the drive-by media, left-wing media? Didn't Rush Limbaugh, he used to call it drive-by media. He was often in Florida. Massive crowd headed to Florida live. The Trump-O'Reilly history show starts soon. O'Reilly, the former Fox host, wrote on Twitter on Saturday. He has a radio show on one of the radio stations that I work for. He does a 5-minute broadcast that is, he does it it's interesting. It's 3 hours in a row. It's at the top of the hour. He'll do a 5-minute report. And interestingly, he has taken Trump to task many times. So it's interesting that the two are now, they've always remained friends, but O'Reilly will tell you if he disagrees with what Trump is saying, he will tell it to Trump. So perhaps that will come out in this show. But O'Reilly, or Trump said rather, see you in Sunrise, Florida in a little while and tomorrow. Big crowds. But the cavernous Florida Live Arena, it's actually FLA Live Arena, had many seats that remained empty, according to the Sun Sentinel. The top level was closed off, and those who had tickets for the area were upgraded to the lower bowl. Pictures on social media showed the top tier of the arena completely empty, though it was not clear when they were taken, and empty seats dotted throughout the arena. Speaking of which, someone who has worked with Trump, he's interviewed Trump. He's on Fox News, but not much longer. He also was the moderator for the big debate between Trump and Biden last year. Chris Wallace, he's leaving Fox News. He joined the network Fox News in 2003. After working at ABC and before that NBC News, he's going to actually go to CNN to work on its upcoming streaming service, CNN Plus. And there are lots of people, he said, there are lots of people on the right, I'm sure, that say, yeah, no surprise there. Chris Wallace, he always poked and made Trump's life a misery. Hell, made it. Chris Wallace never liked Trump. He was a never-Trumper. They'll say that kind of thing. I'm thrilled to join CNN Plus after decades in broadcast and cable news. I am excited to explore the world of streaming. I look forward to the new freedom and flexibility streaming affords in interviewing major figures across the news landscape and finding new ways to tell stories. So it is a new part of his career that he is looking forward to. It's funny how now we say streaming. It may sound corny, he says, but I feel we've built a community here. Talking about Fox News. There's a lot you can do on Sunday mornings. The fact you've chosen to spend this hour with us is something I cherish. The way we say streaming all the time, we're just used to it now. But there was a time people were worried we call it streaming. Maybe we shouldn't call it streaming because that sounds like something you would do in the bathroom or something. Don't call it streaming. So it's my, oh my, how things have changed. Hey, real quick, I got a text from my lovely lady friend. The rain is starting to come down, my lovely lady friend says. Rodler is in the bedroom chilling out on the bed. Aww. So Rodler is happy. The cats are happy. By the way, at the beginning of this, when I was talking about the cats, I mentioned there were 3 cats that visited us a lot. The 2 did vanish. We never saw them again. One, however, has stayed and has kept visiting us, and at the beginning was very scared, very skittish. Now he's still skittish, but not as much. He lets us pet him. Patches. And Patches is the one that we actually caught and got fixed. And he has since forgiven us, and he still lets us pet him. Very kind cat. So 2 cats, and Patches is now probably coming inside and staying warm in the rain. And I hope you get to come in from the rain and stay dry and happy and stay out of the elements. Hopefully it's not too extreme for you, and hopefully this week will be good for you. And next show, it'll be the wonderful Madame Rootabega, Valentino, and Bison Bentley. Tell me what you think about anything we covered today on this podcast. You can call me at 336MM Daily. 3 + 3 = 6. MM as in Mike Matthews Daily, as in what this podcast has been. And we'll try to keep doing, although sometimes I get interrupted. But if you would like to find another way to reach me, here is a frame.
Mike's Daily Podcast is written and produced and performed by Mike Matthews. His podcast is super easy to find. Download or listen to his show and read his blog at MikesDailyPodcast.com. Email Mike now at MikesDailyPodcast@gmail.com. See you tomorrow. Bye.